Welcome to Mrs. Emery's art class. In this tutorial, you will create 6 different spheres with value and texture. First, you need to use a ruler and divide your paper up in 6 squares. Use a compass or circle stencil or a cup to trace your 6 circles. The first circle you will shade with a pencil to create three-dimensional form. You can review the value sphere video if you need help shading the sphere. The second circle you will shade with pen using the same technique as you did with the pencil. Don't forget to add your cast shadows, highlights, and dark, medium, and light value. So when shading the value sphere, you want to make the circle look like a three-dimensional form, like it has, like it's in the round. In order to do that, then each one of your lines or your strokes, if you're painting, should go around in a circle, or it should curve around as you are shading it. I personally like to go around in a circle. There's other artists that actually curve around, but I'm going to do this entire page around and around in a circle. What this does is that it makes it look like the sphere is in motion, that perhaps it is rolling. Remember, you want to remember your light source. You want to have a dark, medium, and light value. Here in the pencil, I still have a dark, medium, and light value. What you do not want to do, you do not want to shade where it looks like a stop sign. You want to continue to make your lines in a curve. You want to make sure that you create the dark value, the medium value, and the light value. Also, do not draw lines that look like half moons. What that does is it makes your value sphere looks like it's not blended well together. So if you actually take it one line at a time, then it will gradually blend rather than drawing the dark lines. Even if it's not dark, a lot of times you can still see these moon lights. So in this particular lesson, what I am demonstrating is I created one circle and turned it into a sphere by adding value. Remember, value is the degree of lightness. So we have dark, medium, and light values here. That's the degree of lightness. And then I'm experimenting with the pen. I like to use the Bic pen because you can actually shade it similar to a pencil. If you do your research, you will find that there's a lot of artists that actually draw with these pens. They come in different colors. They have red, blue, and they also have black. I don't have a black one here right now, but I'll try to find one for the other ones. So in this particular circle, I'm going to do what is called hatching. Hatching is a form of texture. It's basically where your lines are drawn in the same direction. On this one, I'm going to do cross hatching. Cross hatching is also a form of texture, and in cross hatching, the lines will actually cross over each other like an X. In this particular circle, I'm going to do the scribble technique, which is exactly what it sounds like, just scribbling. And then the last one is stippling. Stippling is basically a shading technique that you add a lot of dots. The closer the dots are together, the more value it has. The further apart, the less value. The same with the cross hatching. The closer the lines are together, the closer that they cross, the more value. The darker the value. The further the lines are apart, the lighter the value. And the same with the hatching. The closer the lines are together, the more value it has. So first, I'm going to erase what not to do. Remember, we do not want these stop sign lines. Okay, so found a black pen here. Hatching can take on many forms depending on the direction you choose to hatch. So you could hatch vertically. Short, long lines could create grass. You could hatch diagonal. And the diagonal hatching can be any direction you want. You could hatch in a curve. Which is probably what I'm going to do with the circle. Your curves can take on many different forms depending on which direction you go. You could hatch horizontal. The direction of the hatching should go in the direction of what form you're trying to create. So if you want to create something curved, you should hatch curved. If you want to create something vertical, you should hatch vertical or diagonal. So it just varies depending on the form you're trying to create. So this is hatching. Okay, so cross hatching is where the lines cross. The more that the lines cross, the darker the value is. So there's several different ways that you could cross hatch. So that's one way of cross hatching. Then the scribble technique is simply exactly what it says. It's scribbling. And the more scribbling you do, the darker the value. The further apart the scribbling is, the lighter the value. And last, pointillism or stippling. Pointillism is a series of dots. The term pointillism is usually used when creating paintings with a series of dots. Stippling is the term using when creating drawings with a series of dots. So all of these are techniques to create texture in your drawings. So now let's practice. Now that you understand 4 different ways to create texture, let's get started. The third sphere, you will create form, texture, and value using the hatching technique. In this example, it is essentially the same technique in the first and second sphere. Just keep in mind that the technique looks the same because we're drawing the same thing. If it was a landscape with grass and trees, each object would look totally different. Next, your fourth sphere will be created with cross-hatching. Remember, the closer the lines are together, the more they cross, the darker the value. The last 2 spheres, you will add the scribble technique and stippling. When using the stippling technique, be careful not to draw too fast. If you do, you will create lines, not dots. Therefore, literally press down and lift up for each and every dot. Thank you for watching this tutorial. For more tutorials like this, please subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell. Click the thumbs up button if you like this video and comment below if you have questions. Remember, every child is an artist. Just try. You will be amazed at your progress. Continue to wish, dream, and create. You can do anything you put your mind to.